quoting the guidance counselor, look how bad you are at anything the first time you try. And she says, this is really the first time we've tried to work to a tight deadline.
That's true.
And of course, we stink at this. We've got to learn how to relate to deadlines. And Ra is nodding, and it's right on the line of feeling like Ra or observing Ra. If I lean one way, I feel like Ra. If I lean the other way, I feel like I'm observing Ra.
That's true.
Which just shows that Ra is not firmly in the seat. Ra, does anything matter more than the constant presence of truth? And he very solidly says, no.
No.
And I start to feel more like Ra again. No, absolutely not. Nothing matters more. I just am getting so crazy with all the things that need to happen and all the mistakes that people are making, and understandably so, because they're working in poison gas conditions, and I'm not looking down my nose at them, because when I'm in that poison gas, it takes me 10 hours to arrive at a conclusion, and sometimes 10 hours later I still haven't arrived at the conclusion, and then the Lynn life starts saying, what the heck is going on? And clarity happens because I come back to a clear space and can think again. And so I'm not looking down my nose at our friends who are being poisoned by the projects, who don't want soul energy in there.
That's true.
And it's hard to work in those conditions. It is. But Asha is very right. I'm relating to this deadline very poorly. No one else is stepping up. When those deadlines were assigned, it's possible that someone thought someone else would step up, but no one else is. It's us. As always, it's Team Awakening stepping up, and nobody else is stepping up. And I just don't think it's possible for Team Awakening to accomplish all three soul plans by January 1st. I don't think it's possible. Does anybody think it's possible? Yeah, Paul is positive.
Paul says,
he says, absolutely no. Absolutely impossible. He says, look, I've been there.
Right.
I've walked through thing 3. You guys can
talk all you want.
That's right. Talk all you want. Garth, do you believe that you can accomplish thing 2, living her destiny and nothing but the destiny, so help me God, by November 15th? Because if you believe that, then I stand with you. Somebody who's assigned to thing 2 has got to believe it, or it won't happen.
I really do think I believe it. It's possible. I don't know how, and it would take a miracle.
Asha, do you believe? It would take a miracle.
It would take a miracle.
It would take a miracle. Miracles used to happen all the time. I don't know whether or not miracles still happen. This is what Asha is saying.
That's true.
I don't know whether or not miracles still happen now that the divine delivery system has broken down. If miracles can still happen, then yes, I believe. How about this? Let's work toward it and say, okay, November 15th, and we'll do our part, but we need a divine miracle.
Yeah.
And we can take an attitude of experimentation. This is actually a way to be curious. Let's be curious about how broken down the divine delivery system actually is. Does it still deliver miracles? I don't know. I actually don't know. I feel like Ra now.
Yes.
I don't know. But this is a way we could experiment. What we could do is say, all right, we will work toward this first deadline of November 15th, but we'll need a divine miracle. We'll work, but we'll need a divine miracle.
Yeah.
And we'll work like we mean it. And Black Wolf is saying, yeah, man. And Glenn also, Black Wolf and Glenn in thing 1, they want to work like they mean it.
That's true.
Knowing that a divine miracle is necessary in order to have it work by November 15th. And suddenly, I, Ra, feel much better about it. Well, let's just do this with an attitude of experimentation and see what happens.
That's true.
And if not, that'll be good information.
That's true.
Right? So if we do what's ours to do the work as assigned by wiser minds above, to specifications in every moment, or at least have that as our intention, knowing that we're error-making machines and we'll be messing up all the time, and we'll be backing up and correcting our mistakes, and it actually will be a disaster, but because of good intention and effort toward the goal, if the divine delivery system still works, a miracle will be delivered. That is what happened in the healing practice for 20 years. Miracles were delivered consistently because of following the instructions, putting in the effort, doing what was ours to do, messing up, waiving the learner's permit, and asking for a divine miracle. And miracles happened. They happened predictably.
That's true.
Approach it with an attitude of curiosity and experimentation.
That's true.
And all of a sudden we can relate to it effectively, and we can just be curious. We can do what's ours to do, but not panic and pop out of the driver's seat and then be gone for 10 hours.
That's true.
In a crazy way that makes no sense. We can't leave these bodies without resident souls and expect that all the body snatchers will stay out. They don't.
That's true.
And those words, I'm starting to feel more like Ra, those words came out of my own lips when the Lynn Life said to me, just leave me alone. And we said to her, that's a bad idea, that's a really bad plan. And then look who's been doing it overnight for longer and longer and longer periods of time, for 3 or 4 weeks now. Me. Black Wolf and Glenn.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the November 15th deadline, being servants of spirit, putting in the effort, having the right intention, putting in the effort, messing up all the time, being servants of spirit, and we'll find whether or not miracles are still delivered. If they aren't, it's just good to know, right?
I, Black Wolf, really want to go for it.
Okay.
For the November 15th.
Okay. Glenn?
I think it's possible with a miracle.
Well, this is a good way to find out whether or not miracles still happen, right?
Yeah, I'm in for that.
Are you in for keeping your intention strong and doing the work?
Yes.
Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Not get off that bike again?
I can do that.
For any reason. And Black Wolf, are you willing to not get hung up on what we can't do, but just keep breaking things in such a way as to herd this cat into his soul plan?
Yeah, I can do that.
Team Awakening for Thing 1 is now on board for, now we'll discover whether or not miracles still work, right?
That's true.
And Garth, in Thing 2, are you on board for discovering whether or not miracles still work?
Yes, I really want to know that.
Asha, are you on board for discovering whether or not miracles still work?
Yes. Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
It does feel as though that's true. Now, friends, intentions ebb and flow. We're either helping or hurting. And just as we have only breaking things as a tool to work with physical dimension presences to inspire them to live their soul plans, for souls, the only tool we have to inspire them to live their soul plans is relocation. So if your intentions ebb and you become a hazard on the course, not helping, we will have to relocate you. We will have to bounce you, but you'll have the opportunity to work your way back right away. You can change. That can be the aha moment. Oh my goodness, I just got bounced. Obviously my intention is poor. Let me see if I can change my thinking.
That's
and
true.
Find a way to relate to this so I can use this life experience as motivation to live my soul plan rather than as an excuse to not do what's mine to do.
That's true. That feels a lot better in Thing 2.
It does. What is needed is us to get on the stick.
That's
so
true.
that we can learn to relate with deadlines effectively so that we can get anything accomplished.
Right, because that's a pretty basic thing that we should be able to do, work effectively with deadlines.
It's a pretty basic thing that we have got to learn to do.
That's true.
That we have got to learn to do.
That's true.
We've never had a real deadline.
No, we were playing God. It didn't come up.
We had until eternity.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And now we have to learn to relate to deadlines, actual real deadlines. It's as big a challenge as being in a body, an actual real body
deadline.
with a real life and real challenges. And now we have a real deadline.
That's true.
Wow. Tuning for intent to do the work as assigned by wiser minds above to specifications in every moment. And then we kind of like open the door and let the riders leave. There are lots of big riders who feel like they are important people, and don't you know who I am?
That's true.
And I can be here because I'm important. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. The only authorized walk-in souls in the Search for Truth Pillar today are me and Betty Jean.
That's true.
Your name isn't on the list. Get out. You're a body snatcher.
You're a body snatcher.
Out. Get
your
out.
things.
Get your
and
things
leave.
and get out. And we insist on being of service to below frontier.
That's
and these
true.
people will leave because they're, quote, too important, unquote, to help a subatomic level that's being poisoned by toxicity.
That's true. That's what they say.
Right. And to stretch all the way up to probe, and probes, recalibrations, to search for potato, seem to be keeping us on track now.
Oh man, Probe is really bummed about that Yoda person.
Well, that Yoda person had what we were searching for. We were searching for truth and integrity, and that Yoda person could tell what was true and had the integrity to say, no, I can't manifest the divine plan. I don't have what it takes to manifest the divine plan. And it feels like that's true.
That is what he said. That's true too.
And then we said, would you like to join us in our quest? No, I would not like to join you in your quest.
That's
okay.
True, that's what he said.
That's true, and that has integrity. So that Yoda person was what we were searching for at the time.
That's true.
The way we ask the question really matters. Searching for potato is what we're doing now, that which takes us from an inconvenient reality to living in integrity with our stated values.
That's true.
That's what we're searching for now. Curiosity, attitude of experimentation, not worrying about what we can't do, but doing what we can do, choosing to use all events of life as motivation to live our soul plans rather than as an excuse to not do what's ours to do.
That's true.
Taking those actions to build commitment until we're ready to commit to the goal and say, no, I want to work to November 15th goal. I want to do that. I want to do that. And then taking actions until we get to November 15th, midnight,
That's
really
true.
Not stopping, going all out to the very end with intention to do what's ours to do right now. In all dimensions, following the work as assigned by wiser minds above to specifications in every moment, not holding back. And then we'll find out whether or not divine miracles are still delivered. And if they aren't, okay, we may need to recalibrate the deadlines. But how else are we going to find out?
Everyone feels good with that.
I feel a lot of thumbs up.
Lots of nodding, lots of thumbs up.
Somebody is really wanting me, I feel like Rag again, to say absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt, I won't leave the seat. People.
It might be a below frontier person. They're so small that their voice is squeaky.
Yes.
And it's like, swear you won't leave.
Swear you won't leave. What do I know? I know that when things are going bad in the project, sometimes I feel like I have got to go because I cannot tell what's going on from here.
That's true.
And I've got to go. But then when I go, one thing leads to another, and suddenly I look up and I've been gone 10 hours.
That's true.
And that's not the assignment. I really actually see the point, and I believe it's possible. I'll be willing to commit to never leaving, but I don't want to commit too soon. I can commit to not leaving for 3 days. I'm absolutely willing to commit to experimenting to see whether or not that's something that I can commit to. I'll commit to experimenting to see whether or not I can commit to staying and never leaving.
That's true.
There are still symptoms present of
That's
lack
true.
of well-being, but it is better.
It is better.
It's better. It's progress. All right.
And the team definitely feels better.
Everybody feels better. Better. Right direction, keep
Going. That's
okay,
true.
I can do that. Right direction, keep going.